Hello everybody, and welcome to a special YPR video of all things. Anyway, this is not something I would normally do, but I checked back here and I think it deserves its own video just to show this monstrosity off. Anyway, I quick meted into the room behind the 100% door, so that's what you saw first. And this is pretty much terrain. However, some of you know, Gold Torizo is the boss down here. I don't know why there's like letters on that one room, but we'll come to that room in a little bit. Gold Torizo is the reason I'm making this video, because this is probably the best thing in this hack. And that's, well, I wouldn't say there's a lot of really good stuff in this hack, but anyway. This guy, I hit him there, but generally he does that. Just avoids your supers like he normally would your missiles. Your beam doesn't have any effect on him either, so you can get him stuck in a corner like this. It doesn't really matter. So your beam doesn't do anything, so it's out of the question. Our bombs don't do anything. So you've already kind of seen it, but you're supposed to use missiles on him. That's what hits him. However, he warps when he gets hit. This in itself is pretty amazing. Now, Gold Torizo is ridiculously powerful. If he touches you, it's 2.5 E-tanks of damage, which is, in Metroid terms, a whole lot. Now, and the thing is, he does take a lot of missiles. I don't defeat him, so I never actually checked what's in the door behind him. I'm assuming there's a warp back up to where you've been, but yeah, this is the fight, and it's really, really interesting, this whole warping thing. This is probably the best part of the hack, the most interesting at least. I would put those over top of Lower Norfair, the mini bosses and such. And I wish more of the hack came out more like this, because this is really good. Yeah, he's super powerful, whatever, but to keep in mind, this is behind the 100% door. You aren't just really prepared, you are as fully prepared for this as you're going to be for this game. You can't get back here unless you do what I did and quick met in, or you went and collected 100%. So you were super prepared for this, even though you still get destroyed. And beyond that, there's a save station right in front of it. So this is set up nicely. And if you're really intent on beating this guy, I sort of found this works out best. But you have to be careful, because you can't keep him stuck like that, because when he jumps, his jump, as you see there, it goes through his little warping transition. So, and it's also interesting, he throws back a super missile at you, but that's probably because that's what he does in the original game. That's probably coded in to be a super missile. It doesn't actually grab whatever projectile you're doing. If you manage to make it so that he grabbed your beam, he would probably throw back a super missile. So yeah, you'd probably, I imagine you'd have 230 missiles total when you get to him. And I don't think you would be able to finish him off with all those, but he does spit out the little Chozo orbs, so you can refill very slowly, but you can refill. And I just ran out of missiles there, so go and spit more orbs for me. And then just jump on me. Why not? But yeah, this is actually a really, really interesting fight. I really wish more of the hack came out like this, because there's some good stuff in here. But again, it goes to show, even like hacks you may not enjoy, whatever, there are good things you can see and maybe learn from, or whatnot. So I don't know what's after Gold Torizo, that door. I'm assuming it warps you back, because that door probably opens after Gold Torizo. And then you get in here, and strange looking morph ball sprite is actually Hyper Beam. So I guess technically 101%. Now at this point there's actually two ways to end the game. You can end the game right in this room, because your ship is just hanging out up here. And if you just walk across it, the in-game thing will play. There's a little secret thingy in the wall here, secret path, with a teleportation elevator tube, which will take you back to your landing site. And from that point, you can go defeat Ridley, and I guess in the game normally. Normally in quotation marks there, but... So yeah. But the thing is with that, Hyper Beam really only has one purpose, one use, and that's for Ridley. Of course you can hit enemies on the way there, but... because you have to defeat all 4 mini-bosses to get to Screw Attack, so you will have done that before getting to Gold Torizo, which means Hyper Beam is left for Ridley. In which case, if you defeat him with it, then you can go in the game that way. I guess the regular way. Even though there really isn't too much of a difference. But still, you have Hyper Beam, because you Ridley with it. Why wouldn't you do that? And say, even, like I said, hacks that just may not be your favorite, may not be your cup of tea, whatever, there's still some really good ideas in them. So, I still wouldn't recommend playing this hack, but I do suggest learning from some of the ideas. Like that Gold Torizo fight was really interesting. And it was a hard boss too, which I kind of like. Bosses should be bosses, not just large enemies that have slightly more health. So yeah, now with that you can just go strictly whatever, because there really won't be anything else for you to do. You've collected everything. But yeah, that's really interesting stuff. You know, I really do. I'm glad I went and looked at that, because that was really interesting. And there's 100% doors still shut, because... So yeah, that is, I guess, all I really wanted to show with this, because that's all there would be left. So, with that, maybe learn from the idea, come up with your own crazy stuff, and we'll find some amazing things and new hacks.